America first. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker.
Are you a full tithe payer?
It's just that the president wants a better deal than the one struck by the Obama
surely,
administration.
Geraldo.
And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just like NAFTA.
Geraldo, if the president in the UK and France decide...
I'm sorry, Allison.
If the president in France and the UK decide to strike Syria, don't you think that story would be a bigger story than Comey's book that's released on Tuesday?
My fellow Americans, a short time ago, I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets associated with the chemical weapons capabilities of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad.
Travis Wingetzall. So, having congratulated Jordan on the crowning, we can get on with an hour less in this video. Joseph Smith history, verse 40. After telling us about the coming of the Jewish Christ, who would be a Mormon, born among Mormons, after Joseph Smith, obviously, he tells us that he is our Christ, but the day had not yet come when he would come, and when Mormons who will not hear his voice should be cut off from among the people. Now, of course, you all study your scriptures and you went to Acts 22nd, 23rd verses of the 3rd chapter to learn that it's not cut off. And you study Greek so that you know it's not just destroyed. It's utterly 1 Nephi, chapter 22. And the blood of that great and abominable church, which is the whore of all the earth, shall turn upon their own heads. For they shall war among themselves, and the sword of their own hands shall fall upon their own heads. And they shall be drunken with their own blood. And that great whore who hath perverted the right ways of the Lord, yea, that great and abominable church, shall tumble to the dust, and great shall be the fall thereof. For behold, saith the prophet, the time cometh speedily, that Russell Marion shall have no more power over the hearts of Mormons. For the day soon cometh, that all the proud Mormons, and they, proud boy Mormons, and they who do wickedly shall be as stubble. Although he was a part of the Covenant Path Mormons, or some other group name, terrorist group name. And the day cometh that they must be burned. For they that come, the great and abominable church, shall burn Mormons. And Doctrine and Covenants, section 45. Repeating scriptures for you. Repeating scriptures. And it shall be called the New Jerusalem, land of peace, a city of refuge, place of safety for the saints of the Most High God. Notice it's not in Jerusalem. And the glory of the Lord shall be there, and the terror of the Lord shall be there also, insomuch that the wicked will not come into it, and it shall be called Zion. So is it Utah? Is it Salt Lake City, Temple Square? No. Because there is a Mormon on Mormon murder there too. When will you get it, Mormons? And it shall come to pass among the wicked that every Mormon that will not take his sword against his neighbor must needs flee unto Zion for safety. And there shall be gathered unto it by the Jewish Christ, who is the man like Moses, out of every nation under heaven, and it shall be the only people that shall not be at war one with another. I warned you not to piss me off, Mormons. I warned you not to piss me off, and you did it anyway. I warned you in advance, gave you the scriptures. Refused to believe. You refused to listen. And then the prophecies came to pass. And this is only the beginning. There's more to come. It's going to escalate. You sure you want to not believe? Where's Nelson's Peacekeepers? So, Sunday, Nelson came out and said, kill everybody. And I warned you, you didn't believe. Because I've been teaching you about what true Mormons means in the context of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It means Danites. The ones that murdered and framed and blamed Joseph Smith. And so Nelson goes and uses true followers in the context of peacemakers. True fatherhood, true brotherhood. True followers. And so obviously peacemakers does not mean peacemakers. Peacemakers means what the Danites said it meant to Thomas B. Marsh. I'm going to repeat all this stuff because you guys don't follow. Where are you? It was pissing me off as I have to bring over more and more and more and more and more. You won't let me retire. You won't let me go to Zion. Just pissing me off. Come back to you, Oaks. Oh my hell. There you are. They have among a company consisting of all that are considered true Mormons, called the Danites, who have taken an oath to support the heads of the church in all things, even if they have to make it up. Joseph Smith said, "I have to murder you." He said it. Just believe. Just hold still. They plan to take over the United States and ultimately the whole world. They that come shall burn them, not Jesus. And so I warned you. I found out. Oh, there it is. There it is. In the valley of Armageddon. Don't you know that you drive me crazy? In the valley of Armageddon. No, won't you come with me? And we'll slaughter Mormons. 17 minutes long. Get your hands here. We're single mothers. Bart. This council in the valley of Armageddon, which Thomas B. Marsh refers to, is to be of the greatest importance to this world. At that time, there will be a transfer of government authority from the usurper and impostor Lucifer to the rightful king, Jesus Christ. These Danites only tell those within their inner circle the truth. For everyone else, it's encoded with Jesus. His second coming. It shall be preparatory to the coming in the clouds of glory of our Savior Jesus Christ. Dun, 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 and then Savior of Mormons, The Mormons are too illiterate to understand what she had leaked, even though it was in chiasmus. Oaks to mission presidents, March 14th, 2020. President Markey was a naughty boy and quoted Oaks. To parents and stake presidents, and Sister Jessica posted it on her mission website. This is not the end of the world, but merely a test, a trial run for the second coming. And so apparently Mormons don't know what chiasmus is. If only there was a Mormon who would think that there was chiasmus in the Book of Mormon, even though it's from the late war. So the Mormons can learn what chiasmus is, so that a test is a trial run, and end of the world is the second coming of Jesus. If only Mormons knew. If only they knew. If only there was somebody who could teach them. If only. Because otherwise Mormons won't believe me. What do I know? There it is. There it is. Without fail. Without fail. Mormons are pure evil. The Mormons who commit the crimes knowingly, like the Utah Mormon employee down in Utah County, the Strengthening Church Members Committee, the Living Prophets of Jesus, and any other Mormon who goes around murdering other Mormons because Nelson told you to. You are the ones who are a national security threat, need to be exterminated. What do you think Governor Boggs did it for? I mean, dear God, you guys are in denial of what you did. Your ancestors, Senator Lee. Dear God. So, Mormons who've heeded the call of the living prophet of Jesus on Sunday, murdered an 8-month-old boy. And like I told you, the cops here in Utah don't know how to do their jobs. They get into the union, and the union tells them to shoot innocent people in the back. And then Sim Gill will let you go. So that's all they know. They need your help to find who done it. Otherwise, it will never be solved. And then Senator Lee took Nelson's call, heeded the call, and said that the deep state Dems were responsible for the assassination of Congress persons in Minnesota. But he took it down. He's no longer a hater. He's no longer a peacekeeper. He took it down. He's no longer a peacekeeper since yesterday. Just like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is no longer racist since 1978. 1978. No more. You can't call us racist anymore. There's no proof. You have no proof. I took it down. I deleted it. You have no proof. God. Everybody hates you, Lee. Dumbass. So, there you have it. I warn you, you don't listen. You don't believe. So yes, signs in the heavens. I gave you the signs in the heavens. in advance than when they happened. Now, you're not supposed to look for signs, not seek for signs. Then you'll believe. Signs follow them that believe. You need to believe first. This is why Mormons, with all of the sign videos that I've done these whole latter days, showing you that it's a direct match to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Nobody else, just you. Mormons still won't believe. Because they don't believe first, so they don't recognize them as signs pertaining to them. Mormons have to believe first and then recognize, oh, wow, it does apply to us. Because otherwise you'll say, you can't prove it. No, it's not. And they delight in wickedness. Case in point. They delight in the shedding of your blood. They delight in criminalizing you. They delight in rape, plunder, murder, stealing, locking you up, holding you hostage, kidnapping you, torturing you. These are the Danites. These are you, Mormons. You know this already. I'm just talking to the choir boys. Just talking to the choir boys. It's innocent Mormons who don't know this for some reason. You were the ones who got suckered in to believe the lies, to not understand its code, to not understand that when the church says Jesus is coming to burn people and then coup the government, you have no clue that it's a bad thing. That you now are the enemy. And it's horrifying that Mormons are pretending to be stupid and actually are that stupid. It's horrifying. So we need to talk about Trump's economy and Trump declaring war. So, in our food, companies have been using coloring dyes forever. Because people are more interested in buying something colorful than buying something bland and boring. Especially when it has no sauce or flavoring to it. But under Ronald McDonald K. Jr., Heinz is going to be eliminating coloring from their ketchup. Whether it's catsup or ketchup, I don't care. Dear God. They made an issue of it in the 80s. I just going, what the hell? It depends on which brand you buy. Dear God, they're purposely trying to divide our nation as to the debate over whether it's supposed to be spelled ketchup or catsup. Granted, cat soup doesn't sound very good. So this is the blood of a cat? Why can't we call it just tomato sauce? Oh, that's already taken? So yes, we need coloring in our food. It's not a bad thing. But these extremists, when you have companies who are doing forever chemicals, which are scientific lab chemicals, put into the food, specifically to trigger your palate to crave more. Can't just eat one. So that they can make more money. But these chemicals obviously don't sit well with humans. They're not natural chemicals. Original food with coloring were natural chemicals. But instead of saying, okay, no more super chemicals, go back to the way it was with regular chemicals, but people won't be addicted to our food. Yeah, exactly. And they will never lock up these criminals making these chemicals and selling these products. And so, it's just never-ending cycle of abuse. All because our government destroyed the Constitution. So, let me get everything else out of the way, and then we'll do the national economy first, and then Trump declaring war. So, yeah, everyone hates Lee, and covered Jordan. Okay. So that's for the war, but it's also for his economy. That's the war. Okay. Economy. In our current economy, we know exactly what happens. As I told you, corporations get to do whatever they want, and they get benefits from the government, and hordes at the top, and they invest in the stock market to make even more money. They don't tinkle it down on the employees, and definitely not to the customers, as the wage to living, or the wage to living wage is just getting wider and wider, especially under the second coming of Trump. And our justice system created a civil court so that corporations don't get criminally punished for what they are criminally doing to customers and employees. And thus unions had to come around, because after the RICO Act, the mob bosses needed some other job. So they went into insurance companies, gambling institutions, and the unions. Yay! And so, yeah, they still do protection rackets. That's what insurance companies and unions are, protection rackets. But they're legal now. Just like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We're a religion, not a protection racket. Pay up. God. See, these kinds of things are destroying the Constitution. When we redefine words. God. And so, yes, you have these politicians, government leaders, who say, well, the Constitution is subject to interpretation. No, it's not. Dear God, no. And we know this. We're supposed to be taught this. Those who are trying to get immigrant status know this because they're forced to learn it in order to regurgitate it on a test in order to get their green card. And so the legislative branch makes laws, but they swear an oath to the Constitution to not violate the Constitution, which, to sum it all up, is equal life, liberty, property to all who are born out of mommy's womb and naturalized. Equal rights. And so, life, liberty, and property. They cannot make a law that violates that. The executive branch enforces the law. They don't say, well, the Constitution says we can do whatever we want. We can interpret it however we want. Well, we disagree with this law, so we're not going to execute it on anybody. They swore an oath to the United States Constitution to execute the laws of the land. And then the judicial branch, swearing an oath to the Constitution to make sure that the laws are followed. And yet it has been destroyed in the justice system. As our Supreme Court of Trump have taken away Roe v. Wade, the 14th Amendment, Section 1. Now Trump is going back to that, saying, well, I got rid of Roe v. Wade, now it's time to do away with birthright citizenship. We took away mommy's rights, now it's time to take away baby's rights. And nobody sees this as a violation? That we're being cooed? There's no other way to interpret this. This is a coup. America has fallen. The Constitution destroyed. And you don't see this? You're in denial of this? Dear God. And so, for the economy, property. Congress is in charge of regulating the economy, not Trump, not corporations. Corporations can't be trusted. That's why the government needs to regulate them. You have to follow the laws that we set for you. You cannot steal from your employees. You cannot steal from the customers. You can't abuse the customers or your employees. You have to pay them so that they can live. Otherwise, you're no better than a plantation owner back in those days. Holding people in slavery and bondage to your company with non-disclosure agreements. All right, if you want a promotion, dear, you need to have sex with the boss and then sign this non-disclosure agreement. No! Non-disclosure agreements to cover up crime are automatically null and void. I don't understand why lawyers can't figure this out in the courts. If you force a person to sign a document giving away your rights to life, liberty, and property, it's automatically null and void. With the warranties and all of the signing fine print at the bottom of products you buy, no. You paid them for a product, not for crap. And yet, buyer beware. Buyer beware. So what Trump is doing is destroying the federal government, handing all authority of governing to the individual states, as long as you're a MAGA state. If you're a deep state, Dem state, no, you need to be locked up and deported. And then become a MAGA state, and then you can govern yourself. And Even MAGA states don't understand that this is what Trump is doing, even though he said so many times. People just say, he just says that. He's joking. He won't actually do it this time again. God, why do people play dumb or are really that dumb? Can you help explain this to me, Mormons? Please help me understand. Oh, you didn't study. Right. So yeah, they don't bother to read the Constitution and understand what it means. Gotcha. And so the thing with Harvard is multi-pronged for Trump, because nobody read his Art of the Deal, I guess, to understand what he's doing. He hasn't changed. It's the same old situation. Same old situation. Same old ball and chain. And so what he's doing for the economy part of it is to force every state to have homegrown businesses run by corporations, not mom and pop stores, because they don't make the big bucks. They don't bribe Trump. In case you hadn't caught on that the big tech companies were bribing Trump. And so Trump rewarded the big tech companies. But Musk didn't really understand what Trump was doing. He thought he could get his way by bribing Trump. No. Dumbass. But yeah, everybody was calling for his deportation, and then he caves. Oh, I'm so sorry, Trump. Please forgive me. I was wrong. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you. Yeah, Trump would have ruined him. You knew he was a snake when you took him in. So when he bit you, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised that he bit you? Why again? Why? And so Harvard and the medical profession are cut off from funding. No more government funding. No more federal funding. He wants to cut off all federal funding, but he uses their responses to his false accusations to justify punishing them with what he already intended to do from the beginning. He just blames you for it because you forgot that he said he was going to do that. So we'll start with education. Even though medical profession has education departments in the universities to learn how to become in a career field in the medical profession. And so what he's wanting it done as is to do away with health care and have hospitals be a business unto themselves, which they already are, but there's federal government funding involved. He wants to sever that tie so that hospitals are independent and are on the stock market and bribing him, and thus doing away with the Hippocratic Oath, so that in order to make money, you have to violate your Hippocratic Oath. And then each individual hospital can branch off into the other states, and each hospital chain, like McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, that Trump goes to, this is his mentality, would have their own educational school, specifically for the medical profession, and all things that are involved with the company. The company would have their businesses headquartered in America, and the successful they are, they branch out to every single state and have their own school to educate their own employees. This is Trump's thinking, just like McDonald's. They have their own school to train you how to become a McDonald's employee and flip those burgers just right. And now use brown ketchup. It was bad enough that McDonald's skimps on ketchup, but see, Carl's Jr., they know where it's at. And all those housewives shaming and blaming the models just trying to make a living and eating burgers. It's bad enough that models are shamed and blamed for being too fat, so they starve themselves and become anorexic, thanks to the bullying housewives of Christianity. Leave women alone, women. Stop being mean girls. Stop being Karens. Leave women alone. Right, Jordan? 3 years, at least. She finally got it. I'd be surprised if this was her last year available. Wouldn't be surprised, I guess. And so, the educational system will no longer have multiple departments unless they can be successful. And they can only take in those who can afford them, because it's a company. And so the grant money, if there is going to be any grant money, needs to come from the school, not from the federal government anymore. This is why he's cutting it all off. And the businesses don't like this, because ever since Reagan's tinkle-down economics, this is what they've been enjoying. Free money to invest and make more money and hoard it at the top. Create crappier and crappier products and crappier upgrades every single month by Windows that completely destroys my system and makes me susceptible to terrorist attacks. Because Mormons want to prove the church is true. Take that, Travis. Church is true. Bleep you. We don't believe, and we will never believe. Okay, so that's his economy. Real simple, real McBasic. Now, yes, it won't make them a lot of money. They have to be successful in order to spread to other states. And if they want, they can go to other countries, but they have to have their headquarters here in the United States. Can't have foreign companies come to America. American companies can go to the world, but until Trump fixes the economy worldwide, then you can go back out. But as you can see, there are companies and corporations who are upset with this. And they don't quite get that they have to keep bribing Trump. I told you, you gotta bribe Trump. If you don't like the tariffs, bribe Trump. And instantly, he'll taco out, as you suppose, wrongly. It's all based on that. So yes, he threatens other nations. Those nations who cave, he tacos out. You're not getting it. But he's also using this for the transition into declaring war. And so, Trump starts things off by making a false accusation. Just like a bully. You're four eyes. You're stupid. You're illegal. You're a criminal. You're a rapist. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. He starts off making false accusations, just throwing them out there. Because of his end goal. He knows this. This is his pattern. We all know this. This is not a surprise. This shouldn't shock the deep state Dem press, as it continually does. Oh my God. Come on, guys. And so people react rather than being proactive and saying, we need to keep this guy out of politics. He can't be trusted. We need to remove him from his businesses and treat him as a criminal and prosecute him and lock him up rather than letting him go. Letting him abuse the justice system to get away with his crimes. With his Roy Cohn. Where's my Roy Cohn? I need my Roy Cohn. Pam! Why can't you be like Roy? Pam? What do you mean you're doing favors for Mormons, Pam? Pam, you owe Trump a favor, though. That's why you were put in. Don't betray Trump by protecting the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Pam, I warned you. I warned Trump. Pam. And so people then respond with protests. They respond with lawsuits. And they attempt to try to put a Band-Aid on all of the cracks in the dam that Trump caused. That's why he does it. His end goal is to destroy the dam and flood you. Real simple. In order to stop the dam from flooding, you need to stop the person causing the cracks. Not trying to figure out which cracks should we patch up first. What are our priorities? Where are we going to make our stand? Dumbass Dems. This is what they don't get. And America is falling because of it. And so yes, they're able to sue. They mock Trump for being a taco. But he's still deporting people. He hasn't stopped. Who's stopping him? Nobody. And seriously. Even the Supreme Court. They're not quite on target with Trump. And Trump still defies them. Bleep you. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm the president. I'm king. And so Trump then punishes people. You're going to protest? I'm going to punish you. You're going to sue me? I'm going to punish you. You're going to rule against me? I'm going to punish you. Do what I tell you to do. Well, we need clarification. What do you mean by illegals? Is it just the criminal illegals? It's everyone. Everyone. Dear God. Because that's what he said in the beginning with his false accusations. Pregnant women, babies, they're the rapists. They're the drug pushers. They're the undocumented criminals, murderers, rapists, kidnappers, sex traffickers. He doesn't care. All of them. That's why he does it. And so I told you, he wants war. That's his end goal. A civil war to put everybody in their place and have martial law, the Insurrection Act, the 1798 Alien Invasion Act, all active on Americans to keep you in line, to keep you obedient, to force you into servitude. This is what he's pushing for. You all fell right into it. But yes, this, what he's doing now, is what he was supposed to have been doing at the beginning of his term, second term. That's why Nelson humiliated himself at the pulpit of conference, saying, I don't know when Jesus is coming now. Because remember, it's not Jesus. It's Trump. He's going to cause Armageddon. And he failed to do it before conference. He was supposed to do it before conference. You know, great, the church made $10 trillion off the stock market. But they want their Zion back. And Trump is holding it up. And yes, they will betray Trump once they get their Zion. Because they aren't going to give tithing to Trump. Bleep Trump. We put him in, we'll take him out. Right, Nelson and Oaks? Right. And so, thus, he purposely escalates things. He makes you believe that he's weak in a taco, and then comes back and punishes you more severely. And so this is what he's done to Iran. And I couldn't believe the news yesterday that the deep state Dems would dare ask Trump about why won't he put America first. What do you mean? We need clarification, Trump. What do you mean America first? Do you mean America first? Or do you mean attack Iran? They just play dumb, or really are dumb. Can you help them out, Mormons? Please help them. Help the deep state Dem press. They're not getting it. Trump is a Nazi. Trump is a KKK. Trump is Illuminati, Confederate. They all branched off. So when Americans say America first, that means they're the enemy. That's the code, the KKK code. America first. Right, American First Credit Union? Is it just in Utah? And so Trump came out and said, I will decide what America first means. He already has. You don't understand him. You're playing dumb, or you really are dumb. And so yes, Nelson, for Mormons, it's tithing first. We are the enemy. You knew this. It was all right there. It's in the scriptures. All you had to do was study. All you had to do was run the test on Nelson from the scriptures. You didn't. You got punked, and you refused to acknowledge that you got punked. That you're in the great and abominable church that's trying to murder you. And ordering you to commit crimes. So many dumb people. I see dumb people. I see dumb Mormons. So, I guess I need to explain Iran and Iraq and give you the background on that again. Iran is Persia, anciently. Iraq is Babylon. Both of them, currently, are overrun by Muhammad's Islam. And so people will say Arabs to try to confuse you. Or Iranians, the nationality, or Iraqi, or Syrians, or Palestinians to confuse you. No, don't fall for this. Each geographic location is their nationality. Islam is the religion, Muslim is the culture. So when the Mormons or the Islamists who are given refugee status to be sleeper cells in Utah and then have to become Mormon in order to get a job working for the church, they don't want to give up their religion, but they have to in order to get money from the church. And so they have to lie to the missionaries, lie to the bishop, and say that their hijab is not religious, it's cultural. And the church said, oh, okay, well, let's do a pamphlet about how we're the same. Are you really going to fall for that, Mormons? Really, your underwear is not religious, it's cultural. I mean, seriously, oh my hell. And so, Mormon women and girls who are Islamists working for the church still wear their religious hijab, the symbol of their sexual abuse by their religion. Just like Mormons in the underwear, the sexual abuse of Mormons. So, each geographic location of Islamist Muslims sexually abusing women have a military. The world calls them all terrorists, not understanding it's the religion. Islam is the terrorist. You cannot separate the military from the religion. If the military are terrorists, the religion is terrorist, because the military is based on the religion from the Quran. You can't separate them. Even though they are in different geographical locations with a different nationality title, you can't separate them from the religion. And each nationality location also has a governing body. All the same. Don't separate it from Islam. It's all the same. And so the Houthi, the Hamas, Hezbollah, Taliban, they're all the same. The Islamic State, all the same. They're just the different militaries of the different nationalities. But it's all under Islam. And thus they all fund each other, even though there are disagreements within the religion, as you have Sunni and Shiite. But nonetheless, it's still the same religion. It's like Mormons. Are you a California Mormon, or are you a Utah true Mormon? There are only two Mormons, the true and the false. It's the same with Islam, same with Christianity. They're all corrupt, all wrong, and abominable. Because you deny the Jews. And so Trump, using this bullying tactic for everyone, not just Americans, did it to Iran, not just the other Islamists. And because of Trump's desire to cause an excuse to bomb Iran, to declare war on Iran, he needs them to be the causation of it, to justify it. And with the help of Netanyahu, who also needs to do away with all Islam, remember Jews, the innocent people whose land has been occupied by Christians, Romans, Greeks, Persians, but the Persians actually allowed them to go back and rebuild the temple. Babylon, and then Islam. But yeah, it's their land, and they're being exterminated, and it's just disgusting how people in the world who I had respect for, I no longer have respect for because of their hatred of Jews, hatred of Israel, denying history, denying origins of the religions. You know, Anna Kasparian, the biggest fall of them all. An Armenian who, in order to cater to her base, which are Islamists, progressives, because they are progressive, they've acknowledged this. We are the news for the Progressive Party. Long ago. And so they have to be the enemies of Israel, and thus they're not unbiased as news. And therefore they need to have their journalism certificates, if they even have them, pulled. They are not legitimate news. They are fake news. Even though I respected them for doing local coverage of news in the past, they're the ones who exposed the Bears Ears scandal back in 2017, which, again, it's back in operation. It's back. Baby, you're back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and we should go to nuclear power and nuke the world and hook it up to Meta. AI certainly isn't causing a fire sale. No, not at all. Not at all. And so, Trump making the excuse to leave the G7. Because they were mean to him. It's multi-pronged. Great. Excellent opportunity to exit stage left. And so he comes back, and he actually has, a reason. It's legitimate. Iran-Israel conflict. I got to go back for that. Yeah, he does. Because he'd already planned in advance. When you go out on a date for the first time with somebody, you have your bestie call you in the middle of the date, and if the date is going well, you give them the code, and they back off. Otherwise, you then, I'm sorry, I have to call this date short. I'll call you. This is what Trump did. And so he went to the Situation Room to discuss his attack on Iran. Here it is. I told you he was going to do it, and here it is. And so when he came out talking to the press, he said Iran must unconditionally surrender. He's sending our troops there. A whole list of stuff we're sending. Battleships, helipad, aircraft carriers, where the planes just fall into the water. We're sending them all out there. And he says we know where the leader is. The Ali Khamenei, his name. I'm obviously not pronouncing that correctly. And so you have the Crown Prince being interviewed. He's in exile. So obviously he's excited by this. Oh, I have hope that the regime can be overturned. And remember, Islamists had a pilgrimage to Mecca not too long ago, beginning of the month. Ended on the 9th. And so on their way back to Iran through Saudi Arabia, they're stranded now. Because Trump also, after that meeting, said, everybody needs to get out of Tehran. I wonder if Trump is going to do something. And he says, we're not going to be the ones to assassinate Ali Khamenei. Not me. I'm not going to do it. Hint, hint. Trump is going to pull a Bush. A 9/11 event to justify going after Saddam Hussein when everybody knew it wasn't him. But he got his Patriot Act. Dear God. And so he's using the justification, well, we got to prevent them from nuclear technology. We can't allow them to have nukes. And, you know, the new intel is that they're just weeks away from having nukes. They got to act fast. Buy now. You got to buy now. This offer won't last long. Which then you know they're a scam. And then he also said, we control the skies. Someone is standing. Someone, what is it? Final destination. Someone is coming. Right behind you. Turn around. Da, da, da. I saw that they've got a new DVD release coming out a month or two or so in the future. I don't know if I'll be around to be able to purchase it or not, but I don't understand. Bloodlines? Guys, you finished it. Your first Final Destination, and then the last one looped it. So what are you doing with Bloodlines? What's up with this? You know, obviously it could be great, but how are you going to fit it in? What's going on? What are you up to? It's already perfect. So anyway, and so yes, because of the last one that they did, I made that one first in order so that when I go and watch the series, I start with that one. And then go to the first one. Sort of like the prequel, even though it's the 5th sequel. Alright, so war is coming to distract from other things that Trump wants done in America and other things around the world. He wants that big, beautiful bill. And so a war will again put pressure on Congress, pass my big, beautiful bill to fund the war and destroy Medicaid. And other stuff to destroy America, hand it over to the states. All ties in together. He knows exactly what he's doing. You thought he was a taco, and you let him get away with it. When 14th Amendment, Section 3 should have been applied, and it didn't. And now we have everybody hating Mike Lee. He watches R-rated movies? I thought you guys aren't allowed to watch R-rated movies.